Greetings everyone, and welcome to Firefly in the Willow Yoga. I'm Rebecca. Today's class is a gentle postpartum sequence designed to help you bring length and tone back into the body after the birth of your baby. If you found a few moments today to have someone else watch the baby, or the baby's down for a nap, congratulations. These few minutes are just for you. If you have small children running around in your space and need to pause the video at any time, please feel free to do so. You can always come back to it later. I'll be using a block, a strap, and 2 blankets for this practice. So take just a moment, gather what you need, and I'll see you on the mat. We'll start today in child's pose. So you can start with your knees together or your big toes touching and your knees wide apart on the mat. Whatever feels best for you. Allow yourself to reach your arms out long, or perhaps allow them to rest at your sides. In this position with the arms outstretched, you're able to feel your breath more deeply. So bring your attention to that sensation of your body breathing. Feel the lungs expand into the back body and the sides. And just give yourself this moment to come into your body, out of your busy day, into this moment when you can care for just yourself for a little while. Allow your breath to slow down and become deeper. And then on your next inhale, allow yourself to rise up slightly and thread the right arm underneath the left, coming back into your child's pose shape, hips sinking down toward the heels. And if you experience any discomfort in your knees here, feel free to bring in a blanket, putting it underneath the knees if they're sensitive, or maybe rolling it up, placing it in between the calf and the back of the thigh. And then again, using an inhale to slowly rise up, we'll take the left hand and thread it underneath the right, sitting the hips back down into child's pose and stretching through the outside of the left shoulder. Carrying around a baby or other small children can be difficult on the back, so just allowing the shoulder and the upper back to stretch. Again, using your next inhale to carry yourself up, stretch the left hand back out. We'll come into a tabletop position, bringing the wrists right underneath the shoulders and the knees right under the hips. You can roll your toes under if you like, or press the tops of your feet into the floor. And then from here, we'll relax the belly, allowing the tailbone to rise up towards the ceiling as we inhale. And exhale, rolling the tailbone under, pressing up through the upper back. Getting into this cat-cow shape. And also introducing just a little gentle abdominal work here to begin to retone those abdominal muscles. Moving slowly with your own breath. Really taking advantage of this time on your mat that you have for yourself. Coming through one more round of breath. Inhaling to drop the belly. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, pulling the belly button in. And then coming back to a neutral spine in tabletop. I want to introduce a calf stretch and come into an arm-leg balance now. So taking an inhale, as we're exhaling, we'll press out through the right heel, bringing the right toes to the floor out behind. Feeling that nice stretch through the back of the calf here. And then pressing the top of the left toes or the left foot into the mat, grounding down through both hands. On our next inhale, we'll begin to lift that right leg from the floor, sinking that right hip down, bringing the hips into alignment here. And trying to find that balance point between the hands where we have equal balance in both hands. Pulling the belly button into the spine. This is a fine place to stay, so feel free to stay here if you like. Or ground down through that right hand, extending out long through the left fingertips. Pressing into your foundation, pulling the navel into the spine. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then exhaling the left hand and the right foot to the floor. Finding your foundation again in your tabletop. We'll inhale and exhale here. And then finding another inhale. As we exhale, we'll press out through the left heel, bringing the left toes to the floor. And stretching through the left calf. Pressing nice and strong into your foundation. And then bringing that belly button into the spine. We'll begin to float that left leg up from the floor. Bringing the hips into alignment. And maybe choosing to stay right here. Or if you like, grounding into that left hand, reaching the right fingertips out nice and long. This is good work here. So holding it here for 3 breaths. And when you conclude your 3rd breath, just gently floating the limbs back down to the mat. And then taking the knees out wide or close if you prefer, shifting the hips back, coming back into child's pose. Nice deep breath here, maybe sigh it out through an open mouth. Letting something go. Some tension, some stress from your day, some worry. One more time now, inhaling all the way to the top. And exhaling out through the mouth. And now rolling the toes under in the back. We're going to shift the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. You can keep your knees nice and bent here, allowing the spine to extend out straight. You don't need to be concerned about whether or not the heels are touching the floor, but just allow yourself to gently pedal out through the feet. And if you like to have a little wider stance here to accommodate your body, feel free to take that. So walking your dog here, just gently pressing down one heel and then the other. And then bring that to stillness. Knees stay nice and bent, extending those sit bones up towards the ceiling. And then taking the gaze forward toward the hands, we'll walk the feet up towards the hands. Keeping the knees bent here, bringing the fingertips to the floor. Or maybe if you have a block or a book handy, you can bring the hands to a block or a book and just allow the neck to relax. And now bending both knees generously, we'll take one hand above each bent knee and inhale up to stand. Inhaling the arms up overhead only if you like, and then bringing the hands to heart center. Come through a couple of gentle rounds of sun salutation here. So come into your standing pose, knees slightly bent, pulling in those belly muscles. Shoulders are on the back. And then from here we'll take a deep breath, bringing the arms up overhead. And then exhale, coming down into forward fold, remembering to be gentle, bend the knees or use a block if you like. Inhale up halfway. And exhale, coming back into the fold. And if you like to use blocks here, you may, or books, bringing one on either side of the feet. We'll take a big step back with the right foot, allowing the blocks to frame the left foot and sinking the right hip forward. Dropping the back knee, if you like here. And then maybe placing one hand and the other above the bent knee. Inhaling to come up. Exhale back into your lunge. Shifting the blocks out of the way. Pressing both hands into the mat. We'll release the left foot back next to the right, coming into a half plank. Taking the tops of the feet to the floor. We'll hold the elbows into the sides as we exhale, coming all the way down to rest on the belly. Hands next to the chest here, top of the feet pressing into the floor. Inhaling, using the back muscles, coming up, baby cobra. Exhale, releasing back down to the floor. As we inhale, we'll press back up to our half plank and then roll the toes under and come into downward facing dog. You can come to tabletop here if you like, or stay here in down dog. We're going to bring the right leg forward, coming in between the hands. Again, you can use the blocks if you like. And exhale, looking forward, coming into our lunge on the right side. Stepping the left foot forward now. We'll exhale back to forward fold. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Hands come to heart center. Taking one deep breath together. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. And now repeating this on the other side. We'll inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Taking the hands to the blocks or the floor. Inhale up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Stepping back with the right leg. We'll exhale, coming into a lunge on the left side this time. And then dropping that knee to the floor, Taking the top of the foot to the floor as well. Take one hand, then the other to the top of the bent knee. Pressing forward through that right hip this time. Exhale, coming back into our lunge on the left side. And shifting that left foot back out of the way. Taking the blocks out from under the hands if you're using them. We'll come into our half plank. Pulling the elbows into the sides. Exhaling, lowering slowly down. Coming gently to rest on the belly. Hands next to the chest. Inhaling out, baby cobra. And exhale, release. Pressing back up to half plank or plank if you like. Rolling the toes under and lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Again, you can choose a tabletop here if you prefer. And then bringing the left leg forward and between the hands. Bring back your blocks if you like. Exhale into your lunge on the side. And then stepping the back foot to meet the front. We'll come back into forward fold. And then inhale all the way up to stand. Hands come to heart center. And take a deep breath. Great. Moving the blocks out of the way now. I'm going to come into a short warrior sequence. So taking the hands to the hips, I'm going to take a nice big step back with the right foot, allowing that right foot to be angled out towards the top edge of the mat. Left foot is facing straight. And then bringing those hips back around, stacking the left knee over the left ankle. And it's not really important what you do with your arms here, so you can keep them on your hips or you can extend them overhead. Or if you like, you can interlace the fingers in front of the chest and press out, tucking the chin slightly, and allowing yourself to stretch through the upper back. Continuing to bend into that front knee, pressing the feet away. I've got a visitor. And then allowing the hands to fall back to the hips. We're going to open this up into warrior two. So just shifting the hips forward, maybe making some slight adjustments to your stance, opening the arms open wide, and then taking a soft gaze over those front fingertips. Again, remembering to stack the joints, stacking the knee over the ankle. We'll drop the back hand and sweep the front arm up overhead, stretching through the side body. And then inhaling back to warrior two. And then exhale, allowing the arms to drop and all 10 toes to face forward. Roll the shoulders onto the back, taking the hands to the hip crease, and then exhaling, coming forward into a wide leg forward fold. Allowing the hands to fall wherever they like. Okay. And then placing one hand in front of the face, we'll inhale the other arm open, coming into a wide leg forward fold twist. Exhaling now, allowing that top hand to fall. And then inhaling the other arm open. And exhale, allowing that hand to come down, bending both knees now. We'll take the hands above the bent knees and rise up slowly to stand. Turning out through the other foot now and bringing the back foot at a bit of an angle, coming into our warrior two on this side. Inhaling, arms come up halfway. Exhale, bringing the knee over the ankle. Taking the gaze out over the front fingertips. Coming back to your breath. Dropping the back hand. We'll scoop the front hand up and back. Stretching through the side body. And then inhaling back to Warrior Two. We're going to transition into Warrior One here. So sometimes this transition can be a little tricky. So if you like, you can bring your hands down to your hips here and shorten your stance slightly, bringing your back foot forward just a bit. This can give more space for your hips to move. And now from this angle, you can turn toward the short side of your mat, making whatever adjustments you need to come in to Warrior One. Pressing the feet away from each other on the mat, nice and active here. And again, if you like to bring the arms up overhead or keep them on your waistline, you're welcome to do that. Or you can allow those fingers to swim around behind this time, interlacing behind the spine and pressing the knuckles down and away. Stretching through the front of the shoulders and the chest. And then allow those fingers to unlace, taking the hands back to the waistline and stepping the back foot forward. Back to face the back of your mat in a standing position. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and then we'll exhale, coming all the way down, forward fold, bending the knees just as much as you need to plant both hands on the floor. And here, if you have a vinyasa as part of your practice and would like to take it, you're welcome to do that now, or you can just step both feet back and join me in downward facing dog. Coming into our down dog for 3 breaths now. Inhaling deeply. And exhale. And now 2 more of your own breaths. Completed your breaths, allowing your knees to come down to the floor, and then shifting the feet out to one side. We'll come back into a Dandasana here just briefly. So you can pick up your strap if you have one handy, or a dish towel can also work well, or a tie, or a dog leash. We're going to take that strap around the balls of the feet and holding one side of the strap in each hand, keeping the knees slightly bent if you need to, or perhaps even bringing in a rolled up blanket if you like, and bringing that under the knees. Sitting up nice and tall here, and then as we're exhaling, we're just going to gently lower forward over the legs, coming forward any amount. Just hold here. Maybe making this dynamic, if you like, by inhaling to release and exhaling to deepen. Keeping the shoulders on the back. And now allow yourself to inhale all the way back up. We'll take that strap and shift it out to the side where we can keep it handy. Moving the blanket out of the way. We'll come down to rest on the back. Bringing the knees into the chest. Maybe giving a little massage to that lower back. And now bringing the soles of both feet to the floor. We're going to allow the left sole of the foot to remain on the floor as we bring the right ankle over the left knee. And then just to reduce any sensation in the lower abdomen here, we're going to take our strap and just thread it behind the left leg. So we're coming into a reclined pigeon variation here. So we'll inhale, and on our next exhale, we're going to pull back on the strap, assisting that left leg to come up from the floor, but without putting any undue strain on the lower abdomen. Wanting to build those abdominal muscles back slowly and gently without pulling on them too much, especially in the early or postpartum stages. And so stretching through the outside of the right leg here, feet are flexed, shoulders and neck are relaxed. And then gently begin to release the strap as you lower the left foot to the floor. And you can keep that strap handy. We're going to allow this right knee to continue its journey over the left so that the knees are stacked right on top of each other. And then inhaling, the arms open wide, we're going to allow the right leg to gently pull the left leg over to the right. Keeping the left shoulder moving towards the floor. And then if you like, you can turn your head towards the left. So just noticing what sensations you feel in your body here as you come into this stretch. And remembering that if anything feels uncomfortable or like it's not right for your body, you can simply choose a different pose. Maybe just releasing the legs here, allowing the knees to stack on top of each other. And then on your next inhale, allow the knees to come back up overhead. We'll release the right foot down to the floor. And then bring the left ankle to the top of the right knee. Keep reaching around behind there with your strap. Nice big inhale here, and on the next exhale, using your strap to lift that right leg up from the floor, flexing through the feet, and bringing that stretch into the outside of the left leg. Coming back to the breath. Maybe imagining yourself breathing into the outside of that left leg. And one more breath here. And then on your next exhale, just allowing that right sole of the foot to come back to the floor. You can shift your strap out of the way. That left leg is going to continue its journey over the right, stacking the knees here, opening the arms out wide, and then using that left leg to draw the right leg over towards the left, shifting the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhaling the knees back up. We'll unwind the legs, bringing one knee and then the other back into the chest. Taking one last roll out through the lower back. And then setting ourselves up for Shavasana. So Shavasana, our pose of rest here, something so many postpartum parents really need. So make yourself nice and comfortable here. Maybe spreading a blanket over you, or bringing some padding underneath the head. If you have an pillow or dish towel here, you might even spread that across the eyes and just allow yourself to become very comfortable and very relaxed here, allowing your body to be heavy, sinking into the floor. And we'll take just a few moments of stillness here. If you have some extra time to rest and relax today, I encourage you to stay here. Perhaps even finding a few moments of sleep if you need it. If it's time for you to end your practice, wiggle your fingers and toes, and take a deep breath. Stretch your arms out overhead, stretching out nice and long, maybe pointing out through the toes. And then rolling to one side, cradling your head on your arm. And then when you're ready, press back up to a seated position. Thank you for joining me today for this gentle postpartum practice. I hope you found some stretch and some strength and also some ease. May your yoga follow you off the mat.